This is he.
And here we are, the pleasure of being the company of Michael Monroe.
Me, myself, and I.
Who earlier today, here at the Stone Free Festival, you played an absolutely storming set. It was like chaos and carnage on stage.
Thank you.
And how was the concert for you?
I love this room. It's a great place to play. I mean,
yeah, it's a new venue for you in London.
What,
it's a new venue for you here in London.
Yeah, I haven't been. I mean, I was here with the. They had that metal awards.
Yeah, Golden Gods.
Golden Gods. That's what it was. Yeah, I forgot the name of it. They had Hanoi Rocks had like they had chosen to give us some kind of inspiration award or something like that. So I came here to receive it. You know, just
well, you have inspired many people over the years.
Apparently so. So I was, just to show my appreciation. Ginger was here and Rich Jones was here, and we were looking at the, the place. I was actually happy. I didn't know it was going to be this room. We got here. I was like, oh wow, this is that place. Really good. I like that hall.
Excellent. Well, I'd say it's a very high, energetic gig, and you don't mind me saying, you're 54 years old now. And
my birthday was yesterday.
Yeah, well, happy birthday to you. And you're a man, you do all these high splits. How do you keep yourself so fit?
By doing shows, gigs, and that. Well, I have to stay in shape, to be able to do what I do on stage. So I basically, exercise to keep my, do my thing, and nobody sees me. Exercise. I don't go to the gym. I don't like sport activity in groups or anything like any kind of activity.
Yeah.
Like that kind of. I can't go to the gym and they stink like sweat and dirty socks. And all kinds of macho men, male macho bonding, manly men, and whatever. Anyways, I'll try to keep in shape so I can do what I do on stage without feeling puffing. And, people don't want to see somebody out there, their face all red, painting in with a beer gut, doing what I do. It wouldn't fit, Some people do that kind of stuff, and that's just their music. My thing is, sort of, I want to give a good show, and I'm forced to stay fit, and that's a good thing. It's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
So my profession is actually healthy.
And it was like it was like the true definition of rock and roll. You certainly were not faking it.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
And that's what we like to see. And
authentic.
Let's talk about the new album actually, Blackout States.
Yes.
And there's a few songs in there, like Old Kings Road, Dead Hearts on Denmark Street, and
London theme.
Yeah, London theme. Something you've done before, Big Wreck and Hammersmith Palais. And tell us about the Old Kings Road. What's your memories of the Old Kings Road?
Well, listen. Can I just point out something? That whole thing seems like it's a theme on the album, right? London theme. The best thing about it is it was never planned. I never planned anything in my life. It just happened so. And the previous album had Ballad of the Lower East Side. It was kind of like a New York kind of vibe. And this one, with Dead Hearts on Denmark Street, that was written without the knowledge of Old Kings Road. Plus the line on Dead Hearts on Denmark Street, Walking in Westbourne Park like Dee Dee Ramone, was written without the knowledge that the Dee Dee Ramone song Under the Northern Lights, which he wrote and offered me, in 91 or whatever, and that we ended up doing this album, that was not it was like not connected originally at all. It just turned out that way. So it just happened naturally that this album happened to have like this London theme all of a sudden. Okay, people probably think it's all planned.
But it's part of your life. You spent a lot of your time here.
Yeah, and then Rich Jones is doing the artwork and stuff. So he said, I was thinking what to put in the cover, and I was thinking the back cover of the Machine Gun Etiquette, the Damned. They had those big skyscrapers and stuff. So Blackout States, obviously it's about a state of mind and it's about addiction, addict or whatever. But Blackout States, United States, something like that. And I said to Richard, maybe I sent that cover picture from the Damned to the guys and Rich. I decided to then put together buildings from different cities. From Hammersmith Palais, that song. London, had no fun in London, so Hammersmith Palais. New York City is boring, it's just the punctual went away. Tokyo's not taking, Berlin's going crazy. Those 4 cities are presented in the buildings there. There's the Astoria building.
Yes,
there's
gone now. Yeah.
Chrysler building and from Berlin and Tokyo as well. So that was the inside thought between us, figuring out the cool message there. Plus the band is there in small details. Put the band in there, so you can hardly see it. You see how people can. Some people may not see it at all. I always kind of check it. Notice, by the way, there's a band there on the vinyl cover. You can see it better, just bigger.
Of course.
And so, Kings Road was, Kings Road was really not. I wasn't there. We weren't there when they got famous for punks and tourists and all that stuff. But I did live on Old Church Street with Steve Baders after we got evicted from Portugal. From
Ladbroke Grove.
Ladbroke Grove. There was a Arundel Gardens, a beautiful flat we had on top floor. It was so great. we got on the rooftop and everything. When I moved in with Steve, I actually was taking care of his cat when he was on tour, and then that was after Razzle had died, maybe 5, and then before too long, Steve came back once and said, yeah, you can just share the rent, you know, cheaper, easier, and it's nice, you know, because his wife had left with him. And moved in with Andy McCoy, you know. Steve said, yeah, we haven't, you know, Hannah knocks on the Los Angeles church with real great friends. We know, we swapped clothes and guitars, we swapped wives, no big deal. Anyway, so me and Steve lived together that time, and those were some of the best times, you know. It was really cool, especially Little Steven came.
Yeah.
He had met Little Steven in New York. He had seen Steven give their show at the Ritz Los Angeles church and wanted to produce them. So I was already a huge fan of, I can't believe this song came on. It's always Razzle's funeral.
Oh, wow, wow.
It was played there, but on the way there to L White, we stopped at a pub on the way to the funeral, and this came on. It's always Drive.
Drive by the cars, yeah.
Yes. I was going to tell you when it's too late.
And obviously, memory like that does stick in your head for years.
That's great. It's really, every time I hear the song, it's chills. I remember this the mood. Anyway, so as I was saying, what was I talking about? We were going on about Steve and Little Steven, Voice of America, that album.
Yes, good album.
That's one of the greatest albums to me. I'm sure it was not 80s or whatever, the sound, samples or whatever. But it was not like the, it was rock and the lyrics. That really inspired me when I was starting my solo career. And really, Hanoi Rocks, in Hanoi Rocks I hadn't really come out to my own as a songwriter, you know. It was just the Little Steve and, Steven, and the punky thing is like having something to say in your songs. Like, wow, now I have reason to be up there on stage.
Did they give you good encouragement to go solo?
What?
Did they give you good encouragement to go solo?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm gonna have something to offer. I'm not gonna just stand on stage and they'll look at me. I gotta have something to say, and I was like, that was like, wow, the way they were doing it so cool. And it was like, that's what originally to me was about. Rock and roll to me is about individualism, being individual, like having the fun thing was great because the lyrics were then about real life and shaking things up and bringing up points where elevate the consciousness of people who are you give something to think about, not to get too serious because you're having a good time. You don't have to switch your brain off to be an idiot to have a good time. Better time you have when you're listening to something someone's saying something a bit more that has more depth and more intelligent and making a point. Raising questions, whatever.
And I'll say Dead Hearts on Denmark Street, famous street in London, still is. Yes. You must have spent a lot of time there in the 80s hanging out.
I bought at the Andy's Guitar Workshop. Andy McCoy actually sold me his Firebird, which is some Sunburst Firebird. Probably charged me the same prices as if it was new. Great bandmate. Thanks a lot, pal. Anyway, so he said, I want to have it painted glossy black. Yeah, my name in pearl inlays on the fretboard. So it looks so cool. That was at the Andy's Guitar Workshop. I had that done. That was in Denmark Street. Funny enough, when I went to the Hanoi sound check, we were supposed to check out a song where I could play that guitar. Andy was supposed to, let's do that tomorrow, not today. And the next day I was like, okay, so check out the song we're going to play on. He says, no, we don't have time. It's tomorrow. So then I realized, he's never going to have me play that guitar because he loved it. It looked too cool. I had it fixed so cool that one night he was just, borrow that Firebird for one song, man. Okay,
And obviously just down the road from Denmark Street, the old Marquee Club, Water Street. All those wasted years ago.
Wow, that was.
What was your memories of the Marquee Club?
Oh boy, I remember I just remember the smell backstage and the bad sulfate that was going on. Like I always one line too many. So during the is this somebody? Hang on. So I'm sorry. I feel like a schmuck. It's not I got this new phone and I don't know. It's driving me crazy.
Just like to say, Michael Monroe's bag is bigger than a lady's bag.
Who is it? Ryan Watson, perhaps? Come on. Let's see. Traveling for our puck. First call Ryan Roxy, I don't know, I can't see it this morning. I'm an old man, my nose is knackered.
I can't welcome back yourself.
My nose is knackered. Okay, well, anyways. Hello. I'm trying to call in Ryan Roxy and let's see if he answers. Just, come on, man. Ring. Pick up the phone. You think I don't know you're there? I use phones for calling and text messages and photos, that's all. And then they give me all these photos. I get this for free from in Finland. People see me use the phone, that's advertising for them. But I don't care about anything else, and it's always some kind of, you can Google it, you can fucking pinball machine, whatever. I don't need that stuff. Eats away at the battery. So, can I have a regular phone, please? Nah, never mind. I'm sorry. It wasn't him who called.
Put more in the terrible things.
Yeah.
So yes, the Marquee Club.
Marquee Club was that was a great place where I saw Gary Holton of Casino Steel's.
Gary Holton, Heavy Metal Kids, yeah.
What?
Heavy Metal Kids, Gary Holton.
Heavy Metal Kids.
You've done some of their songs, yeah.
Yeah, She's No Angel and Delirious also covered. Gary Holton came to us. They had a rock show with his wife was still with him at the time, and had his kids with him. His kids were his cowboy outfit with guns, and sheriff, the hat and everything, the whole complete outfit. It was so cool. Gary would come by, and there'd be Johnny Thunder. I met Johnny Thunder's there too. The first time I met Johnny, I thought I met Johnny when it was Razzle. I just had the same tattoo, see?
They look very similar, yeah.
I tell you, that day I was on rare form. We were staying at the Julius Caesar Hotel in Bayswater. And I won't get into any details, but I must have thrown up like maybe 10, 11 times a day altogether. Just couldn't get any food in it. I went to see Johnny Thunder. I spaced out. I was like, "Are you Johnny?" It was Razzle. No, mate. Johnny's backstage, but where's your drummer? Your drummer, yeah. I know rock. Where's your drummer? I don't know. Somewhere here. I'm gonna break his fucking legs. Your band is great. I've been looking for a band like this all my life. You should. Your drummer sucks. You gotta have me as your drummer. Coming up. The same thing. The next club we played, the Zigzag Club, was the Los New Church were headlining. That's when I saw Steve Black's live for the first time. I went to the bathroom to take a leak, and this hey mate, you should take me as your drummer. Your band is like coming on to me like, what the hell? Who's this guy? As a matter of fact, then I took his number, and then Andy had encountered the same. He'd be harassing Andy too. So we were sitting in a hotel. It's like, man, the drummer we had was the sweetest guy. He was kind of like, he was having some problems and didn't really fit the whole thing. And, how about this guy? This guy who's been harassing me all this time, saying there's something about him that he's convinced he's our drummer. Oh, it's the same guy I've been coming to me too as well. Maybe we should check him out. Yeah, fine, let's do it. Let's call him. And he came over and hang out with us. And he was such a cool guy. I was like, maybe we should try him as a drummer. As a drummer, he came with his black prom boots and black lipstick, and he was like Neil Smith with Alice Cooper back. I was like, wow, he'll look cool, play like Neil Smith. But his playing was technically not very good, but we thought, the first time we had evolved so much over a couple of years that, he'd been playing some speed metal kind of style, double bass drums and whatever, punk speed metal, whatever. So he was not used to playing the kind of tempos we had. He'd be alright, he was cool, he's got a great attitude, and at that point, kind of sort of at a low point, the spirit of the band was kind of really not good. Things were like, Dave Dixon from Kerrang was interviewing us. Andy fell asleep in the middle of the sentence. He joined it. That's the first I've seen it. I was like, oh, okay, well I'll take on over for that. Yeah? Okay, so it was Marquee. I got to, we played, eventually we had a residency. We played there for 2 months, maybe once a week. Yeah,
I was from the live album there, video.
That was those 3 shows at the Christmas. That was after the residency. In the fall, I think it was like September, October, or whatever, the residency. And then we had those 3 or 4 nights at all those wasted years where the Japanese people filmed, and it became a video. And it was a great place to be.
Actually, funny enough, you just mentioned Japan, and I think Japan was your first big market, wasn't it?
It was. They were really into Hanoi rock even before we played. They loved the semi-opposite. They thought of me. I was like a kabuki doll, colors and everything. They liked that kind of colorful personalities, I guess. But I think it was also because I always loved the Japanese culture, and our logo was kind of original Japanese style letters. and I had the geisha girl tattoo and everything. And I just love the Japanese people's mentality. It's just so sweet and so considerate, and it's not phony. It's real, authentic. They're brought up to be really polite, and when they drink, they never get aggressive. They just giggle and then they pass out. You know, I love their thinking. Very civilized. Is that my milkshake?
Could be the milkshake. You got the strawberry milkshake.
How good or bad it is. Milkshake. I love it. Thank you so much. I will never forget this.
You've earned that today. We'll say it was a very energetic set.
I'm right. As I was saying, so yeah, Japan was really what I was thinking when I thought of the reason the oldest way to this video shoot was one reason that the last gig we did in Tokyo in '84, that was film. That was just something really phenomenal. It was really special. Everybody said it. The manager, Bishop was trying to get into the film and make that also a document, have that documented. God, I wish it had me because it was really something else. But they said, yeah, they just did this all those ways. Years already, so they're too close to that. They want to be the same thing next year.
And obviously, you still play it there now as a solo artist. So
what?
You still play in Japan as a solo artist.
Yeah, just came back. We just played there at the end of May.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, we do. I've always played there, and I became after Hanoi broke up. Michael Monroe's even a bigger name there in the early '90s. As a solo artist. So many gifts from them. They said not even John Bon Jovi even didn't get as many. It was crazy. I had so many dolls and stuff from that. I had to buy 4 or 5 trunks and send them a cargo to New York. They came a couple of months later. I couldn't throw this stuff out. Up all night going through the stuff and sort of trying to throw out as much as possible.
One great thing about Tokyo is the second-hand record shops.
Yeah.
Do you collect records yourself?
Yes, I love. Well, I'm not a vinyl freak, but I mean, I love records, vinyl or CDs, physical product. That's, I need to have something in my hands. I can see what it is, what the band looks like, lyrics, and I love that. I don't even know how to download.
So when you're in Tokyo, do you do a lot of record shopping?
I never have a chance to. The guys in the roadies are told me about this. Record shops really have them real rare stuff for Hanoi and bootlegs and stuff. But I have, record shops I've gone to find stuff that I can't find anywhere else. That one, some of my favorite records of all time, I can't find anywhere.
What music do you listen to indoors? What are your favourites?
You have to spare a couple of hours? Let's see, I mean...
Funny enough, we do.
Well, anything from Little Richard to Rolling Stones to the Ramones.
Perfect. That's real rock and roll.
Yeah, right? I mean, everything you'd be surprised. I love good funky stuff. One of my favorite bands, one of my favorite bands was The Undisputed Truth. Motown, Norman Whitfield produced their albums in the early 70s and stuff. And there's some of the songs, Balls Confusion, they did some of the same songs that the Temptations did at the time, and Smiling Faces sometimes, that was their big hit. Big in Baltimore anyways, American, there was people there.
It's funny you mentioned like Motown, you don't like cover versions like Up Round the Bend and obviously Gary Holton songs, but you've never done a Motown cover. Would you consider that in the future?
Why not?
Why not?
The Meters,
Yeah.
Give It What You Can. I sang that on I'm doing in Finland, there's the Voice of Finland TV show.
Yep.
Which is unlike any of the other voice in other countries.
Yeah.
Finland, I like the format. I refused at first when they asked me, but then the band leader, keyboard player, a friend of mine, he called me and said, like, you may want to reconsider this is something else. Because I didn't like, I've never been in judging anybody else's work, like records, and I always refused to be part of any of that, and especially some of these formats like Idols or whatever, they get singers who are actually, some singers on purpose that are really bad, so they can mock them and say, don't quit your day job or whatever. And I hate that, that makes me crazy. Never tell anybody that, especially young people. Yeah. So then the Voice of Finland was like in a kind way, in a positive way, you kind of, get back at them, kill them with kindness, whatever. So we did the first season. We had, you had to do a song with your singers. Like four singers left in my team. We Give It What You Can for TV. And what I do with that show also is present to Finnish people bands like Cheap Trick. Nobody knows Cheap Trick in Finland. So I've had all these seasons. It's the 5th season just passed, and I had three Cheap Trick songs on the show. I had Flame and tonight it's you, and
Yep.
stop this game. And you know, just
Very good choices actually. It wasn't the obvious ones there. Yeah.
yeah, right. So that's why I enjoy doing that show. So Motown. I'm thinking, yeah, wait, that was the Rolling Stone last season. These two girls with the Battles episode, they did a great version of Pop was the Rolling Stone. The other one was really kind of weird, different, but in a good way. Kept her on a short leash. She was okay. Didn't go too crazy. That was cool to have. That was the Undisputed Truth version. Because the Temptations version, it takes forever until singing the first verse. You know, it's like okay, any day now. But they have it more like a song, so it was cool. I love that stuff. I have done it live and stuff like that, but I've never recorded it. No, I haven't recorded that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, that's one to think for the next album.
Thank you. If I remember correctly, it wasn't. I can't remember.
Talking of legends of rock and roll, we've lost so many idols this year.
Absolutely.
And sort of started with Lemmy.
Grim Reaper
Christmas
could
time.
like take a little break now for a while. You know, it's like, come on, it's crazy. Take a break. It's like everybody's moment.
We lost Lemmy. You good friends with Lemmy?
Absolutely.
You toured with him 2-3 years ago, didn't you?
Yeah, we did 3 weeks with Motorhead in the UK in 2010. It was the best tour I've ever been on. I loved it. It was so much fun. And Phil Campbell, of course, all of that.
Yeah.
Lemmy's been my friend since the 80s, you know. And he was the sweetest guy. He's just rock and roll. For me, what it's all about. Like the integrity. He can go in he walks into a room anywhere. He just gets total respect. Total gentleman, kind, nice. He never treated anybody like shit. You deserve respect, and he would be respectful to you. And that thing was very smart, and he was just kind of like, you know, nobody could tell him what to do. Nobody would mess with him, and he still didn't suck up to anybody. And you know, that's the way he is. That's how you do it.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And Axl Rose, good friend of yours.
Lemmy we're talking about.
Oh yeah, I'm just talking about Lemmy. Yeah,
Right,
no, I'm just moving on. Sorry.
Lemmy was so upset about Hanoi Rocks breaking up when Razzle died. We were at me and Steve Bates went to see Motorhead and the Hammers Methodian. And Wendy Williams was opening up for us.
Yeah, I remember that.
All right. So you know, so Lemmy came. He was so pissed off about Razzle, you know, losing Razzle and everything. Just, we'll back you up, mate. So what? Yeah, you know, till you saw, you know, you get your thing together, and you know. So I didn't know what I was going to do then. My band was gone and my life was gone. But he had Motorhead backing me up, especially with my baby face back then. Then fans were eating me alive. I'm sure it was what an honor. I mean, it was just what I love about him. We did a song on Sensory Overdrive, Debauchery for Fine Art. It was a duet. You heard that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was fantastic. Originally, it was a tribute to Motorhead called Motorhead for the Fall. Motorhead for the Fall. And when he came, I wanted him to sing on it. And I figured that he wanted to maybe rewrite. I said, feel free to, you know, if you want to rewrite something, let's, you know, I'm totally open to it. You love the verses, but I knew that it was probably, you know, if say Mick Jagger had a song called had Rolling Stones in the chorus, he probably would want to suggest something else, you know. So we ended up with oh, I know what my world is for. All for one and screw you all. I used to say all for one and screw the rest. But all for one and screw you all. We're all ready for a fall. We're all ready for a fall. But that wasn't a good enough title though. They used to be Motorhead for a fall. But in the lyrics it says debauchery turned into a fine art. Ginger says, why don't you just call it debauchery? It's a fine art. Yeah, that's right. Good.
Excellent.
So it's a great honor to have you. I'm so glad we got that.
To hear the story behind that song. I just mentioned Axl Rose, and a friend of yours, you've sang on his album. You were a big influence in Guns N' Roses.
Oh yeah, Axl was back in the New York days when I lived in New York. We used to see each other a lot. You know, he would come by, we'd go out to dinner and stuff. Total gentleman, wonderful person. We had a good time always. He was very respectful and nice. We were talking about music and Dan McCafferty was when I first met him. I said, "You must like Nazareth, right?" He said, "Oh man, you know, I used to hide in my bathroom. My parents wouldn't allow rock and roll, so I used to hide and listen to Love Hurts." So he had just heard Not Faking It, like a pre-cassette copy of the album. I said, "I love your album." Oh yeah. You know, you like my version of Not Faking It, right? Nazareth, right? And that's her song. You're Loud and Proud. That album was never big in the States.
That's
You
right.
didn't know that album. You didn't know the song was Nazareth. Oh wow, is it Nazareth song? Yeah, you haven't heard it. Because I think his Hair of the Dog was big.
Yeah.
Stuff, right?
The Hair of the Dog, Guns N' Roses covered.
Yeah, right, exactly. They know that more in the States. So now I love it even more. It was even more into it. And that was actually at the video shoot of the Digital Rock and Roll video.
That's right, yeah.
And he ended up being in a video.
Did you catch Axl with AC/DC recently?
No. The thing is, Axl has. I haven't heard from him for a long time. I had Axl actually. He had a. What was it? Sebastian was in Finland in 2010. That's the last kind of remote contact that he. Sebastian took a picture of two of us.
Yeah.
Sent it to Axl. Text message in Axl's comments. That's that guy ever age. Wait, rock and roll is positive youth. And then another time was in Helsinki. There was a one-day festival, Skunk and Nancy, and we played there with my band in 2010 too, I think. And the new Guns N' Roses was there with Axl and Richard Portis and three guitar players. And that was the time when he knew where to find me, so I figured he wants to say hi. I thought, of course, myself funny, so maybe it was because knowing that he wasn't getting along with Slash too much then.
Yeah.
I think maybe that was the reason that he don't want to, I don't know. Go figure. I can't assume anything, but I didn't meet him then either. So I haven't seen him for like 15 years. I haven't met him personally, talked to him at all. But I have nothing bad to say about him. I think he's a very cool guy. Always been a nice guy and a gentleman. Never, did anything. Besides,
there's more of a myth to the real guy.
Yeah, and he had his tarot cards read for the first time in his life at the Nirvana, an Indian restaurant called Nirvana on Central Park South. It was overlooking the park. And there's a woman who was doing the reading at the trolley deck, and I think I should try that. Check it out, you might like it. And he said, yeah, he helped me see things and said, do some heavy stuff. Our conversations were very high level, spiritual things like that. It depends on your company. I'm sure in LA, most people say, hey, dude, check out the chick there and the titties and all that kind of stuff. But we were talking about real cool, heavy stuff. Like he has some heavy demons chasing him. I told him a story once that there's a video. They were playing a show with Guns N' Roses, big stadium. All of a sudden, somebody pushed him from behind, like that. And then we didn't see anybody. So check the video. See him go like that, going forward, but there's nobody behind him. There's some force there, and I was like, whoa, boy, that's pretty cool. So I want to be, I don't envy his position also, being so big, huge, and so quickly. And how do you know who your friends are?
Yeah.
Tricky one,
Exactly,
right? And as early age as that is, it's very confusing. And some people can be so fickle and so,
People forget, when he hit the height of 87, he was like 22, 23.
Yeah, right.
We know ourselves, we look back at our lives, we're still boys at that 23, So you've got a lot to deal with in life.
Well, you got to keep your head together and it's always a challenge to, some people, depending on, that's to me is a crucial thing. The most important is to have a solid foundation in life that your feet on the ground and you don't get lost in the sauce.
Definitely.
Lose yourself in the process. To me, was the most important thing. I didn't care about anything else other than staying cool throughout the whole trip. Like if I lose myself and become a jerk in the process, even if I sold millions of records, I was a mega big, huge star in the world. It would be worth nothing if I turned into an asshole in the process. That's the whole thing.
Yeah, definitely.
So that was always my most important thing. And I started on the streets. We had our rocks. We were homeless on the streets. Me, Nasty, and Sammy. That's how the bad first half a year we lived in the streets. I had nothing and nothing to lose. Started out with nothing and still had most of it left, right? So that's really emotional, to me. I was like, well, at least I got my band. And I don't need a flat even. Anywhere. I got a roof over my head. I was like, wow, luxury. So it's, that's the way I feel about it. So nothing, no one can mess with me. No one can take away what I have. Possessions don't, rich people have the same problems. They have the same bills. They're just bigger, more to worry about.
Well, I think it says in the works of Buddha, you have too many possessions. The possessions own you in the end.
Exactly, yeah. You get possessed by your possessions, and you're not going to take anything with you when you leave. You move on to the next thing, and obviously it's obvious that to me, anyways, that the trip continues. This existence sometime one day and. In time, it will pass and we'll move on to the next, You go to the next class, whatever.
And just before I finish this interview,
People operate on different levels.
yes, definitely. And just before I finish this interview, you've guested with Tarja Turunen.
Turunen.
Yeah.
Tarja Turunen. Tarja Turunen is in Finnish. Tarja.
Excellent. You got it bang on then.
Your heaven and your hell. Of course,
Yes.
I'm the heaven.
It's a great song. It's an excellent song.
You like that?
Yeah.
Isn't
It's
it cool?
very Alice Cooper-y, you know.
It is, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's pretty heavy for even her.
Yeah.
She said she doesn't.
It's very different style for her. Yeah.
Right? One of her songs are my favorites. It's Never Enough. In the end, when it gets like
Yes. Well, the previous song. Yeah.
great, it gets like like someone cranked it so high that it's breaking up. Yes.
So how did this song come together?
Well, she suggested us that we do do a collaboration on that. And she had a basic. Her guitar player, this guy. I forget his name now, but he had the riff in it, the heavy riff, and so he's playing guitar on it. So she said, "Would I like to write some lyrics or something?" And we were doing the voice the previous season. She was in, and she did 2 seasons now. This next season she won't be. She's too busy touring. But anyway, that was around that time. First of all, when I met her first time in Russia, we were doing this gig with Lordi, and she was headlining, and which is like love at first sight. We were just like we'd known each other all along. She was such a sweet person, and Marcelo, her husband, manager, fantastic guy, really great people, and they're cute. So anyway, so I took the song and I started writing lyrics. I'm thinking as maybe those metal bands usually have that devil thing and kind of like I was like, what's so cool about like death and devil? And I was like, bullshit, man. It's like there's nothing cool about death. And so the imagery in the lyrics, I wrote some stuff. Plus, I had my voice shot completely. I had some real bad infection. I was sick for a long time. I had no voice.
Maybe that's why I thought you sounded like Alice Cooper.
But you know what? That's why I'm singing in a way that I would normally sing it. I pushed to get the tone out there. And Marcelo thought that it was good that I was sick, that I wouldn't have sung that way, because I said, can't be enough vocal. I mean, months later, I sang in the studio. I said, I've got to re-sing parts of that, sure. And then we came back to it and I said, how did it go? It wasn't that bad. But the Pink Floyd part in the middle, the space stuff.
And you had saxophone to it as well.
Yeah, that was I thought, hey, you could do something like just totally drop out. Like in later, Won't Wait on Century Overdrive has a little section too. It happened, and that was like to me. I thought that'd be cool to have that. All of a sudden, the heaviness goes away. Yeah. And then goes back into it, and Tarja, she didn't have the. Well, I love the fact that she didn't want to have the chorus where you normally would have it after the first bridge. She said, not yet. Let's just go back to the second verse, and then the bridge, and then the actual chorus. If there's a God, if there's a devil, if there's a God, I know him well. If there's a devil, we can tell. There ain't no punishment in hell. Sin is only man's invention. There ain't no divine intervention. You make your own heaven and your hell. That's the truth, right? You make your life. It's up to you. We are the creators of everything that's in our lives, I believe. So, something I'm playing around with these words like, there's nothing cool about death, and I was just, want to stay in bed. Got a heavy head, a sledgehammer in my skull. But I'm scared I'd wind up dead if lights get so dull. Maybe there ain't no divine plan. Things just happen because they can. Don't paint devils on the walls. There ain't nothing cool about death at all. It's a Finnish saying when you sort of jinxing something as painting devils on the walls. Like, don't say that, otherwise it'll happen. So I used that. Those words kind of like it. Ain't nothing cool about death at all. Love and light, I haven't said, and we really ain't all that hell bent. And on darkness is our style. I'd rather see you smile. Killing them with kindness all the while.
I'd say it's a great song, and I hope it's released as a single.
Right? It's the length of it. It's like 6 minutes or something. So I'm like, are you sure you can have that long? Yeah, why not? Why not? Yes. All right. Then now we're talking. This is the real deal. So I love that. I love her. She's great, and collaboration with her. It's not easy to do duet with her. She's singing that kind of.
And your two voices are completely two different worlds.
Yeah,
but that's why it works. I think it's like Beauty and the Beast kind of thing.
That's right. It's very exactly. Beauty and the Beast. That's what I thought. You're heaven and you're in. Two extremes.
Well, Michael, it's been fantastic talking to you.
Thank
the
you,
album
man.
Blackout States is out now, and check this man out live. You've never
Yeah.
have done, because honestly, if you want to see rock and roll, this man is rock and roll.
Thank you.
And there's not many of them out there these days. So,
Well, thank you.
Michael,
That's
all the best for the
nice
future.
one.
Pleasure.
Thanks, same to you, and
Thank
thanks
you.
for watching. Keep on rocking, let's keep rocking all alive.
Marvellous.